All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz. Hey, I hope you're having a great start to your Wednesday. It is hump day. Let's get over this hump and get on to the rest of the week. So, what has been going on this week? I mean, the weather's been pretty beautiful here around the Fox Valley. It's been kind of cooler at nights, which is getting a lot of people thinking about fall, thinking about that deer season. And because TRS Live is here at the Real Shot, it is time for you to start getting your archery stuff in. We've talked about it plenty of times with Mark and Mike here at the Real Shot. Now is the absolute time to get your bows, your crossbows in. If you're interested in a new bow or crossbow, they have some inventories available. Looking to upgrade some products too. Right now is the time. So, come check out the store at the Real Shot. The fishing selection is still huge. There's a lot of great fishing yet to come for the fall. Fall is one of those best times too. The fish are starting to feed up. So, there's some great opportunities coming forth. But, the goal here of TRS Live for me is, like I always say, I'm here to save you money, right? The thing with everything right now is, inventories are hard to find. Products are taking a little bit to get back into our store. So the thing that I'd like to highlight to you, the viewers of TRS Live, again, thank you so much for joining me again this morning, is we have certain inventories available, and yet we're going out on a limb. We're even discounting those products. So for some of these things, you're like, holy man, first and foremost, I can't believe you actually have that in stock and available. And then the second thing is why are you discounting that right now? There's a lot of companies out there that if they have it available, man, they're not discounting it. They're like, why do I need to discount it? It's going to sell anyways. Hey, we're here to get you the best products we absolutely can, and we're also here to get you the best pricings you absolutely can. So let me tell you a little bit how TRS Live works if you're new to the show. So the way it is I'm going to talk about usually 4 to 5 different products here within an hour, and they're all and only available at therealshot.com. So you have to, take advantage of the pricings of some of the products that we're talking about here on therealshot.com only. So what you're going to do is you're going to bring up that reel, and it's REELSHOT.com. So you're going to bring that on up. And the easy way for you, the viewer at home, is to shop along with me, is to go to that categories tab on the left-hand side of the screen. You're going to scroll yourself down, and you're going to see TRS Live Shopping. Click that tab, and it's going to bring you to the landing page for TRS Live. What you're going to do then is you're going to rotate through, and you're going to see there's a calendar of events that pops up first. That calendar is going to notify you of some of the past shows we've done, and it's also going to have a notification of some of the shows that are coming up. For those, again, that are new, we try to go live here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays around that 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. So again, you're going to see the upcoming products. Maybe that's something you're interested in. Maybe you can't wait to hear what I got to say about it. Again, I do my best to educate you on these products as well, but there's a lot of great sales staff here at the Real Shot that have by far more knowledge I do on some of these areas, like this first one that we're going to get into. So don't hesitate either. Reach out on the social media pages, the Real Shot on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and then TRS Live, Facebook, Instagram, and also the Fix TV platform. But I'll get to that in a moment here. So now, you see that calendar of events, then you scroll up a little further, and bam, there's a whole list of products. Those products that you're seeing are the products that we've talked about on the past shows, and those are also the products we're talking about on the future shows as well. Now, here's the caveat to that. Some of those products may not be discounted anymore. Some of those products may still be discounted. Some of those products, the inventories may be drawn down. The thing about it is I want to encourage you, you need to watch this show within 24 to 48 hours for sure, because that's going to give you the opportunity at the best deals that we're talking about. We leave those products up there so you can see that, hey man, the Real Shot has a great inventory. And the one cool thing is actually an email me notification that you can hit. So let's say it's the product we're talking about today. You were a little late to the game, and all of a sudden we're sold out, right? That price was so good, somebody wanted all of them. Bam, now all you have to do is hit the email me notification, and then the Real Shot, boom, 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 will send you an email when that product is back in stock. It's really simple to go through, but the thing is some of these products may be on sale for 24 hours, some products may be on sale for a week. I don't really know, it's not my power there, so you have to take advantage of the deals when you absolutely can. Now, again, my goal is to save you money. I have another opportunity for you to help, or for me to help you save money and also support all the great shows that you have available to you. That's called Fix TV. Fix TV is PHYXTV.com. You check that out. What is it? That's our video on demand platform where this great show is also put out there. So what that is there's great shows on there like head-to-head fishing. If you want to watch some of the past head-to-head fishing shows, they're on the Fix TV platform. My show, also The Guided Life, is also on that Fix TV platform. The other great show we have, The Jake Jacobs Show, is on the Fix TV platform. So what that really means to you is you, by becoming a subscriber, help support the shows that I just listed and any future shows that come to that channel. Now it's really easy, everybody. It's $5.99 a month to subscribe to Fix TV. And we get that, right? $5.99 a month, man, I don't know if I can afford that. Let me throw you this curveball. I'm automatically gonna give you back a $5 credit from that $5.99 to use here at therealshot.com and on some of the products that you see here on TRS Live. So boom, right now it's down to 99 cents with that $5 credit. Now you only get that credit if you maintain your subscription to Fix TV. And I know there's been a lot of people in the chat, there's been a lot of people on the on our Facebook pages that have taken advantage of that $5 credit for some of these awesome products. Now the other thing too is I'm going to save you even more money by letting you know this little tip. If you refer a friend, once you get signed in and you take your link that's in your description there or your bio and you send that out and you say, hey, help me out, help support some of these great shows, sign up for Fix TV. That's going to give you a month free of viewing. So if you do everything correctly, it can basically get you a year subscription for 99 cents. Man, that's an awesome deal. That's so cool, and you should probably take advantage of that. Again, that helps support all the great shows that we have going on right now, and it also helps support all the great shows that are coming forth. So that's Fix TV. Again, that's PHYXTV.com. So check that out too as well on the platform. Now, the other thing I'm going to ask you before we get into the first product too is follow us along on our social media pages. There's actually a giveaway that The Real Shot has put out there right now. There's a couple of tips that you got to do, a couple of little tricks, and then you get yourself entered into a giveaway for a Daiwa Tatula spinning reel. I think it's like a $250 spinning reel. It's a high-end spinning reel. But all you have to do is a couple of simple things, and then they're going to randomly select a winner for that. So again, that's on the Real Shot Facebook page. Check that on out. But again, follow along on Instagram. They do live videos throughout the store. There's product updates. There's some fun we're having. We're also on the Tickety Talk. So if you're a TikToker as well, man, we're starting to really have some fun with that too. So check us out. I mean, all the shows that were referred to, congratulations to the Jake Jacobs Show. There went over 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 people that follow him on TikTok. So congratulations, Jake Jacobs Show. The Guided Life's got one out there, The Real Shot. I mean, there's a lot of ways to follow along with your favorite activities here at Fix Productions and Head-to-Head Fishing, TRS Live, and so on and so forth. So enough about that. You already know what's going on. Let's roll into some of these products today that we got. So the first product that we got rolling on here, you see all that information pop on your screen. It's the Oki Kingfisher. It's the tape portion of it. So you see right here on my left-hand side, it's the tape. The color is Crush Glow, and it's the front and the back sides. Now, the way it works there, everything you see on the screen right now is how you simply order that product off therealshot.com. The thing on top of it, OKTCG, is going to take you directly to this product. Now, what we got here is the tape, right? It's the front and the back. They are sold separately. Normal retail price, $2.99. You're going to get them right now on this awesome savings here for $2.30. This tape is meant to fit the Oki or OK Kingfisher 2 flashers. And there's a lot of features that those cover. And man, you know what makes sense to me is we're already talking about the tape. Maybe we should talk about the flashers. Well, I'll get into that probably later on in the show. Thing about this tape, it's very durable. It's going to do a very good job on the flashers that you're going to use it on, and it helps add attractiveness. Now, Andy, let's go into this zoom up screen here, because I want to show people as I'm going to get a little comfortable here. Look at as I move this thing. Look at all that flash. Look at all that color. And as I move it too, see how there's different colors? Now this again is Crush Glow, where it's going to add that glow to it, but look at that sparkling effect in there. And again, when we talk about the flashers, you're using that with, you know, a meat rig, you're using it with the flies, maybe you're using it with a plug. Now this is the attractor right here. This is the tape that you're going to put on a flasher. So if you are one that maybe you got some Oki flashers at home, or and you need to upgrade the tape, or you wanted to get into a little creativeness with the tapes, here's the tape selection right here. And again, like as I turn this thing, no matter how the bright studio lights hit it, boy, there is some awesome attractiveness to this. I mean, it looks like there's a disco going on in the water right now. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we're going to do a little dance. You know, we're going to chase a little bait. They're just going to get hooked tonight. That's basically what they're rolling into. So that's, again, that's the front and the backs. They are sold separately. Again, $299 is the normal retail price. $230 is the price you're getting them for here on TRS Live. You know, some of these things too, it's a high quality reflective materials. They're applied to flasher blades of different colors to produce fish catching flashers. It's pretty simple. You see, look at here, like that. As the light hits that one, look at the pinks that are in that color. Look at the oranges. Look at, I mean, there's, as that thing rotates, it reminds me of that car I saw on the highway the other day. It was like a chameleon style car, like one color in the back end, and I drove forward, it got to be a whole different color. That's what these flashers really do a good job of. And again, it's like one of these things, if you're looking to upgrade a flasher, if some of the tape for whatever reason just got so abused, you need to redo the tape on it. This is the portion of it. You know, this is where you're going to find that information. It's meant to fit on, you know, those Oki flashers or Oki flashers, those Kingfisher 2 style flashers. But I bet you somebody could get creative with this stuff. And at $2.30, I mean, you could probably trim this stuff down. You could probably put it on a crankbait. Sorry, I just hit puberty again. Did you hear that, Andy? Jeez, I hit a whole nother octave. You just wait. I might start singing some Backstreet Boys in a second. But if you had this tape, right, and maybe you only needed to replace a little bit, so on and so forth, this stuff is so great. It could probably adhere to like a spoon. It could probably adhere to a crankbait. You know, you can get creative with this tape. So let's say you're not a salmon or trout fisherman on the Great Lakes. This tape, too, has probably got some awesome purposes for a different style bait. And again, that's what I want to encourage you to do. If you've had any luck with any of this stuff, if you've had success, if you have an opinion on it, right? Everybody's got an opinion. Let us know on social media. There's also a live chat that's going on right now. You can throw a little comment out there. I can see it on the screen, and we can talk about it. I love to hear your feedback. I love to know the good, the great, the bad, the uglies with all this kind of stuff as well. So if you have any information, you can either share it to our social media pages, you can send us a message, or you can jump on the live chat that's going on right now. Now, the thing about it, too, is, you know, again, I'm here to educate you. I'm here to save you a little bit of money. Am I an expert on this stuff? By far, no, not at all. But we do have an expert that works at The Real Shot. Nick is a phenomenal Great Lakes fisherman. He is somebody that has so much knowledge. He's forgot more stuff than I could even learn before the show. So if you have any questions, reach out on social media, or you can also call the store. That's really easy too, 920-750-6140, and you can talk directly with Nick in the fishing department and get some more information on it. But again, it's an awesome product. This is one where right now we're probably going to run this sale for a little while. We do have a good inventory of this. I'm telling you that not to make you wait on it, but this is one that, you know, again, it's one of those products you're probably looking for. You're probably looking to upgrade some stuff. Well, we have a pretty good selection of this color in particular. That's why we want to dwindle down that selection. And one thing too that helps out is, right, we can save you some money, but then that also allows The Real Shot to utilize that and upgrade products that are maybe more high in demand, some things that we're out of stock of. So for us, it's kind of out with the old, in with the new mentality here, and why not save the viewers at home some money at the same time? So again, if this is something you are absolutely interested in, go to therealshot.com, enter in that code that you see in the top of your screen, and go right to that product. Add, I don't know, 50, add 100 to your cart. challenge it. See how many you want to buy that day. But I'm going to tell you this, don't check out yet. Add it to the cart, let it sit there for a while. And if you're anything like me, maybe you add it to the cart, you add one to the cart, and then you come back a little later on while it's in that cart, you're like, man, that's such a good deal, I should probably add another couple to the cart. And the next thing you know, my wife's like, what are you buying again? And I'm like, don't worry about it, it's something I definitely need. So it's the Oki Kingfisher Tape. It's Crush Glow is the color in particular. We do have available the fronts and the backs. Normal retail price per front or back is $2.99. You're going to take advantage of them for right now for $2.30. All the order information is on your screen. So add them to the cart. But you're buying flasher tape, you're going to need a flasher to go along with it. So coming up next here on TRS Live is, you see them right here, everybody, the Oki Kingfisher 2. That looks like it's ready for some tape. We have some great colors coming up. Clear UV. We have green and white, and also chartreuse are the products that are going to be coming up next here on TRS Live to go right along with your flasher tape. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks. It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are going to join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Hey, welcome back everybody to TRS Live. I'm just over here playing with some giant flashers. So when we went to commercial, we left you talking about some Oki Kingfisher tape, and the color in particular was the Crush Glow, right? It was the front and the backs that are available. If you purchase them, normally they're $2.99. We had them on sale right now for $2.30. Well, what good is the tape if you don't have a flasher to go along with it? So Oki Kingfisher 2s, we got them right here. The colors in particular, we have black, and this is the cool thing here. This is the clear one. It looks like there's nothing in this, but there's a clear one in there. And we also have the UV. So it's actually clear UV. Let me specify. This is clear UV. It doesn't look very UV-ish to me, but green and white, and then also chartreuse. I don't have the white one here, but so we have them, and we have them available for you. These are the 12-inch sizes. Normal retail prices on these is $9.99. Right now we have them on sale for $5.99 per. Now let's get into a little bit of this. Now here's what I had to do. For this one, I had to get a little bit of education, so I talked to Nick again at the fishing counter, and Nick told me These, I'm like, Nick, like we've talked about other flashers on the show. We've talked about other flasher fly combinations. What is it about this? And he goes, if you are going salmon or trout fishing on the Great Lakes, these are the flashers that most people run if they are targeting a big fish. So he's like, man, if you want a big time fish, you need the Oki Kingfisher 2. That's what we have available again for you. $5.99 is the price that you see on your screens, so take advantage of that. Start adding these to your cart to go along with that Crush Glow tape. So let's talk a little bit about it. So again, my notes say they're great for attracting monster fish. Now, the other thing too that Nick was so awesome in informing me, as you see him on your screen, is kind of like the 8-inch flashers that we've talked about on previous shows. And if you're interested in looking at those shows, you can go to the Fix platform or the YouTube platform for the Real Shot. If this is a 12-inch flasher, it's always your leader length is usually right around that three times the length of the flasher. So for like some of those 8 inches, we were running a 24-inch leader. These ones, it's going to do the math correctly. Boop, 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 boop. 36 inches is what you would typically run for these. Now, like we hit on before, the Oki tape, not included in these, but we saved you money before by having those in there. So if this is something that you look to need to update the arsenal, add to the arsenal, you know, you're getting started in the salmon and Great Lakes fishing, well, why not save some money while you get into it? Some of those other products are a little more expensive, so let's save you money on the stuff that you're absolutely going to need so you can invest and get into some more of those higher end products that you see available at therealshot.com. Now, what they come with is the flasher. It's that 12-inch flasher that you see here. They do have the ball bearings. They do have the swivels included in the kit. So these are ready to go. You already have the tape in the cart. You know, there are other tapes that are available on therealshot.com that'll fit these flashers as well. So you can add those to your, just by kind of searching the Oki brand on therealshot.com. Some of the uses, we've hit on those before. So you can use it with the flies that we've talked about, or any of the flies that you see available at therealshot.com. We also talked about the meatheads. These will work with the meatheads. You can use it with spoons. You can use it with plugs. It just depends on what the fish are telling you for that day. But yes, these are very versatile. They are clean slate, meaning, you know, you can get creative. You could do a little bit of your own taping. You know, you can get some different colors. You can get some different patterns out there. You can spice and jazz these up whatever way you see fit. And maybe you might come out with the next custom color. Hey, next thing you know, we might be talking to you to carry your flasher here at the Real Shot. So, I mean, it's one of those things is use these blank slates that you see here to get creative. Again, you see like the clear UV. We have the green. There's the white. There's the chartreuse. The black is like the one I have in my hand. Those are all the ones that are particular on sale right now. So what does this flasher do? Again, it's the bigger size. It gives the salmon the impression that a feeding frenzy is going on. You know, it mimics salmon slashing through a bait fish ball is what this flasher is really going to help to do. You're going to typically run these in a little deeper water where that cold water is, and I heard things are goofy out there in the Great Lakes right now. Like that cold water is not setting up like it normally is, so these fish are kind of scattered. But a bigger profile, you know, a bigger bait this time of year, a bigger flash out there is going to help attract those fish, especially those big fish that you're looking for. You know, in a tournament situation, you want the biggest quality fish that you can find. You know, if you're on a regular charter trip or a guided trip, sometimes it's just about the numbers. But if you are in a tournament event, you know, like Captain Keller is one, I bet you he runs these bad boys out there to help locate and find some of those bigger quality fish that are in that system. So it's a real simple one, everybody. And this is the Oki Kingfisher 2. You add it to the tape that you already have in your cart. Get creative with the colors that are available. Make some new designs. Come up with those, and you might have the next fish catching ability. And this is one too that, because there's a number of different colors available, not all of these maybe have a wide inventory right now. So if you're looking for the chartreuse, or you've been looking for that green, you know, this is one where you better take advantage of it now, because this is kind of, again, here today, gone tomorrow mentality. If you don't get them while they're here, they may not be back in stock for a while. So take advantage of the deal that you see on your screen right now. Add these to the cart. You know, you already got the tape in there. And I'd be kind of curious too, like, you know, for those people that are buying that tape and buying these flashers, do you run the full tape on there? Do you cut it in half and add another piece of tape on there? You know, what are your tips and tricks that you would like to share with somebody? Or maybe it's too secretive, but you want to share your pictures of the big salmon or trout that you were able to catch and also save money on these products as well. So this one's really easy, everybody. You got the tape. You need a flasher to go along with it. We have them right here. It's the Oki Kingfisher 2s. It's the colors again, black, clear UV, green, white, and chartreuse are the colors that are available to you at therealshot.com. So take advantage of that savings. Now, we're kind of done talking about the salmon portion of it, but I wouldn't check out just yet because there's still some great smallmouth fishing going on out there. There's still some great largie. There's still great walleye. There's still some awesome other species going on as well. And the next product that we're going to talk about is the Z-Man TT Nedlocks with a Z, so it'll be Nedlocks, the HD. So it's the Ned head that you see on your screen right now. That's the next product we're going to be talking about. These work perfectly with the Z-Man products, but would also work very well with some of your other plastics out there, like some of the Berkeley stuff we talked about. So coming up next after the commercial break, we're talking Z-Man Ned heads.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. I've been fishing professionally for 4 years. I spent 3 years as a pro in the Northern Opens, and now I've been fishing 1 year in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot.
There's the boom right there, Gary Atkins, your smallmouth specialist.
Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are going to join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. Now you can hear me. What's up? I was muted. I was talking to Andy and Break. I apologize for that. Yeah, so welcome back to TRS Live. If you are just joining me, I already saved everybody out there a ton of money on salmon products. Now we're going to kind of roll into a different world here. We're talking about Z-Man again on TRS Live, and we're talking about the Nedlocks HD Ned heads. These are phenomenal heads. Now, here's the deal. We've talked about Z-Man a lot on the show. We have on our TikTok channel, we stretched a Z-Man plastic, I think over 60 inches. I highly encourage you to watch that. That was actually pretty fun. Aaron actually came on the show with me, and we took another Z-Man. I think we took the giant turd or the giant TRD. We stretched that sucker out too on the show. So we have a lot of fun with the Z-Man plastics. But what that lets you know is that stuff is super durable, and man, does it absolutely catch fish. So if you use some of the Z-Man products out there, especially the Ned style fishing baits that Z-Man is so known for, you need some more of the jig heads. It's just that time of year. You need some of these Nedlock Z's with that patented shroom style head to it. And the colors in particular that are on sale are chartreuse, it's green pumpkin, and black. Probably the most popular colors, right? The ones that you absolutely need. You see them all right here. And the sizes, there's different sizes that are available to go along with those great colors. It's the 1/15th ounce, it's the 1/10 ounce, the 1/10th ounce, it's the 1/6 ounce, and the 1/5 ounce. Those are all the popular sizes and all the popular colors. Again, it's like, why are you guys discounting this stuff? It'll sell on its own. Hey, we're crazy here. We're crazy about saving you some money. We're crazy about getting you back on the water and catching fish because we want to see those pictures on our social media. We want you to share your adventures with us. I've been trying to do this little fun thing on the Guided Life. It's Tiptoe and Pucker Tuesdays, right? Share your pictures with me. And hopefully some of them have some of the Ned style baits in there using this exact product right here. So the difference between this and some of the other standard Z-Man plastic or Z-Man heads out there is this is the HD version of it. This is more of the heavy duty version of it. What they did with this one is they used a Mustad Ultra Point hook inside this bad boy. So it's a little more sturdy, it's a little more rigid. It's going to help with you increase your hook sets, you know, when you're down a little deeper. Maybe you're fishing more around grass where there's a little more weeds, you know, things like that, where this bait comes through it, you know, and when you got a hook set, you really got a hook set into that fish. But this will work with all the popular Ned style Z-Man baits. And the other thing too is because that Elastec that's in that Z-Man, you know, it helps with floating, it helps with the durability first and foremost. They included in this Nedlock Z or the Nedlock Z head, HD head here, they have an awesome keeper on there, this plastic keeper. Now when you rig this stuff, you know, there's a lot of information out there, but you absolutely should pull it up almost past the head. What you notice, that actually like snaps it. It almost snaps in place. It pulls it far enough on this chartreuse keeper here. I think the one in my hand is the 1/5. But it's like you pulls it up past this keeper and it places it perfectly underneath this shroom style head. Now if you want, you could add a little bead of glue underneath here to really make sure that plastic doesn't come off. But typically when you rig this stuff, man, you can pull it for days and days and it's not going to snap off there. Plus with that Elastec plastic that we've referred to so much on the show, that stuff is going to get you 100, 200 fish in some situations. It's not going to be like some of those other plastics out there where you catch one fish, maybe two fish. The nice thing too is it also has that soft buoyancy feel to it where the fish are going to bite it and hold on to it. Now, again, fishing this, the Ned style head is one that goes along with finesse style fishing. You know, where it's whether you're fishing it with the standard TRD or you're fishing it with some of the other, the Hog Z out there. So here are some of the options, especially from the Z-Man. You have the finesse TRD, you have the hula sticks with the Z. Everything's got the Z from Z-Man. I love that. The standard TRD, the tubes, and the TRD Hogs. That's one in particular that we referred to. Those are all great large and smallmouth crushers. The other thing too is they will catch walleyes, hands down. If you are looking for kind of a under the radar bait as of right now, the Ned rig is absolutely a walleye crusher. I think if you paid attention to head last year in the PWS, we saw a couple anglers utilizing that Ned style bait to catch some big walleyes. So walleyes will love this. Crappies will love this. Other panfish will love this, and you know this is what you need. And that patented shroom style head is going to allow this bait to fall, and it's going to stand straight up. You know, Andy, what's your camera? Can you see that? Just look at this in the palm of my hand, on the uneven surfaces of my hand. It's standing straight up and down right here. you know, I just knocked it over. But that's what that head's doing that on its own. Just imagine if it had some of that Z-Man plastics on there to help do that. And now the nice thing too is we backed it up, right? We talked about that heavy duty mustad hook that goes along with this. So, you know, what I did is in my research, right, is I found out that there's a couple of things that people maybe are doing wrong when they're fishing the Ned rig. And here are a couple of things that I found that maybe you may or may not be doing wrong, or maybe these are just straight up tips for you. They're using too heavy of gear. So we talked about that before on the show. We've had some ducket rods that are available. That medium or that medium light style rod, if it's a spinning rod, is probably going to be the world you want to live in for the spinning rod setup. And there might be some duckets still on sale in that world from thereelshot.com. Again, the spinning reel. And then the line selection. That's also very important. If you are running a braid to fluoro, right? Or if you're running just a straight fluoro, which is usually recommended because you want this bait to, sink. You know, that fluorocarbon is going to help that out. And that poundage range, depending on the pressure on the fish, depending on the cover, the situation that you're fishing, is usually in that 4 to 10 pound range. Now, if the fish are uneducated, you could probably bulk that up a little bit, maybe stay in that 10 pound world. But if you have high pressure fish, if you are fishing some of this lighter stuff here in that 10th or that 15th, you know, maybe then you want to drop down 8, 6, 4, somewhere around in there. I know there's like even oddball numbers like 5 pound, 7 pound, all that kind of world. So anything from 4 to 10 pound is where you should be. And again, your braid should kind of be in that same world too. A lot of times if you're smallmouth fishing, it's clearer bodies of water. You have to make long casts. Backing up some braid to fluoro may help you make a longer cast. And using a little longer rod is also going to work well. You know, a lot of times 7.2, 7.4, or maybe even longer, 7.6 and beyond is the length you want. Why is that? Because you want to make long casts in these situations, but then that long rod is going to help you pick up that extra slack. So if this bait falls and that fish hits it on the drop, or that fish hits it while it's pinned on the bottom, you reel up, you start to move that bait, now you feel that pressure, you need to do a hard hook set. And it's not always like a big giant, like I'm fishing heavy cover style hook set. It's more or less, it's just a feel the bite, raise into it, reel up, get all that slack out of there, and just pin that bait. With this sharp ultras, this mustad hook, let the hook do the work. Let the rod do the work. Let the line do the work for you. You don't need to always cross their eyes when you're fishing a Ned rig. That's one of the things that people make mistakes of too. And that's actually right here on my notes. Set the hook too hard. I am 100% guilty of that. I live my life when I'm fishing by the mentality of hook sets are free, and I am going to just, my goal is to like just cross their eyes. But I think a lot of times for me, that hurts me because I hook set too hard and it pulls the hook out, or maybe it bends a more light wire hook that I'm not paying attention to. So you don't always have to cross their eyes. The other thing too is some people fish the Ned rig style bait too fast. You know, it's retrieve it slow, allow it to stand straight up, allow it to do the job of what the plastics, what the head that we have here on sale are going to do. Allow that bait to stand straight up in the bottom. Let that bait do the work for you. Let that salt impregnated plastics from Z-Man do the work for you. Leave it sit there. The longer that sits there, it's really easy, everybody. It's like your wife putting a cake out on the table, or you know, something like that. You can walk by that thing a million times and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to eat it. And then every time you say that, you're inching your way closer to the kitchen table. You're like, I won't do it. You know, next thing you know, you find yourself hovering over that piece of cake. You've had 3 pieces down, and next thing you know, you're like, I'm not going to eat the last one. You know, leave that bait do the same thing for you. Leave it out there. Leave that fish to look at that sucker for a while. It starts getting that, you know, that smell, that nibbles on it. Maybe it gets starting to get a little bit of that taste. Let these shrooms, these Ned lock heads do that work for you. Let those plastics do that work for you. I'm checking here. I got to. Oh, yeah. So super fan is getting ahead of me here. Dylan Williams, slow down, Dylan. Slow down. I'll get to that one next. We're talking Z-Man right now. But again, fish it too fast, right? And there's a lot of different ways that you can fish the Ned rig. You can either crawl it along the bottom with a slow retrieve, just let it just tick, tick, tick over the bottom of that, or maybe it's the rock, so on and so forth. Or you can lift drop, boom, and let it sit there, right? or you can do short hops. It depends on what the plastic is you're throwing with it. Maybe if you're throwing more of a cross style bait with it, you know, that one wants to stay lower to the bottom. I've even seen people, and I know that Z-Man recommends it, you can also just do a slow retrieve with it. Give those fish a little different look time and time again. You know, you could probably vertical jig it in the river in the spring for walleyes. I know that to be a fact that works too. So again, it's there's a lot of different ways, right? Change the profile. Yes. Right, great point. I do see that comment, Dylan. I'll get to that one right here in a second. Change that profile. We just hit on that one too. Change up the profile of that bait a little bit. But that's why we have all these here. And so Dylan said, yes, the Nedlock Z's, right, don't tear up your plastics like a lot of other ones do. And what he's referring to is some have a hook style keeper on there. And when you pull them off, they actually like rip out the internal portion of the plastics. And then they do more harm than they do good, right? What Dylan is saying, the design of this plastic keeper on here is in a way, it's almost like a screw and a nail combined, where it actually holds the plastic on a lot better for you right here. And it's up at a good portion of the shank of that mustad hook, so you still have that split area to get that plastic up there as well. So I mean, this is one. These are really popular. These are the most popular colors you can ask for. And these are the most popular sizes you can ask for. So $5.99 is the normal retail price. What is it, $4.79 for a pack of 5 right now? That's out of here. That's craziness. So this is one that you're going to want to add to your cart because there's still a lot of good fishing yet to come. There, Andy brought it up. Look at the chartreuse, the green pumpkin, the black is the other color. It's the most popular colors. I know I was mentioning that to Kyle the other day that this is going to be on today's show, and he's like, why? Why? We're going to sell them all day at full retail. I'm like, because Kyle, I want to save money. I want to save people with money. That's my job over here. He's like, all right, man. Well, I'll plan on putting another order in ASAP because I know the fans of TRS Live are going to snatch those up at such a great deal. So it's one easy one, everybody. It's the Nedlock Z. It's the HD, the heavy-duty version. It's got the Mustad Ultra Point hook. Again, the colors, the most popular colors, the most popular sizes, chartreuse, green pumpkin, black, the sizes that you want, the sizes that you need, the 1/15 ounce, the 1/10 ounce, the 1/6 ounce, and the 1/5 ounce. Those are all the colors that are available. And it's a 5-pack, right? Hopefully I educated you. It's got the split keeper on there like Dylan is such a big fan of. It's got that signature. Look at this thing standing up on its own. That's crazy. That mushroom style head there, that shroom style head. And it's a perfect bait. It's a perfect jig to go along with some of those, your favorite Z-Man plastics out there. So again, take advantage of it. $4.79 for a 5-pack. That's unheard of. And this may be one, if Kyle now found out that it's on TRS Live, this may be only on sale for 48 hours. So I'm highly encourage you, do not wait. Go to therealshot.com. Enter that code ZMTTN into the Real Shot search tab. Find this bait, and you better add a bunch to your cart before Kyle decides to take them off the sale. So that's the Z-Man bait. I love them. You're going to love this next one even more. So again, we're in the world of why are we discounting stuff when they're absolutely popular? Well, we're going to discount some Megabass. The Megabass Dark Sleeper, it's clear pink. Look at that thing, how flashy it is. Look at that hidden hook. Look at how awesome that thing is. It's a 3-inch, 3/4 ounce. An absolutely fish crusher right here. So once we come back, we're going to end the show talking about the Megabass Dark Sleeper.
I'm Gary Atkins, professional angler in the National Professional Fishing League. Tune in to TRS Live for the best deals on all your outdoor gear and apparel. If you're going to want a shot at the big bass, you're going to need the Real Shot. Take it from me, professional angler Gary Atkins.
It's Matt Trotz here with The Guided Life. We just met up with one of the guys from the crew, and he's like, they're on a hot track, so it's put her 4 high and get on these back roads and scream. Every year that I've been a part of that and I go to that class, I always learn something. So these guys are gonna join me, and the reason I asked these two guys in here is because we got Travis, who does a lot of public land hunting, and then Judd and I are private land, owners and hunters for the most part as well. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next one. All right, we're back to TRS Live. I am your host, Matt Trotz, and we are into the final product of Wednesday's show. And just like I alluded to before the commercial, why are we discounting Megabass? Because we want to, and we want you to be able to take advantage of it. And just like Dylan Williams said in the comments, he goes, holy man, the Dark Sleeper Goby lookalike is a smallie killer. And that is the product that we're talking about next. So it is the Megabass Dark Sleeper Swim Bait. It is the clear pink. It is the 3-inch and the 3/4 ounce size. Now, this is something right now is a absolute large and smallmouth killer, but I know for a fact this Goby profile will also help you catch walleyes and a lot of other fish. Now, the one thing you're probably going to ask right now is, why clear pink? Why is that the color? Well, you have some options to go along with this, but I do know is when a Goby, there's been some underwater footage out there. A Goby doesn't always look, let's say, like a Goby. It's not always like that camouflage style color. Sometimes in different bodies of water, different depths, they have more of an iridescent look to it. Well, that's what Megabass did when they came out with these different color schemes. A Goby doesn't always look like a Goby, if that makes sense. Now, the bait profile of this thing is 100% going to look like a Goby, but the color schemes don't always have to be your standard. Now, El Natural is sometimes always the best way to go, but if you want to give those fish a little different look and a little different options, this clear pink might be the way to go. Now, the other person here that on the Real Shot sales floor, Ty Cornell, has a bunch of knowledge on bass fishing and fishing in general. And the one thing I always constantly see Ty doing the first time he looks at a plastic is he holds it up to the light. He wants to be able to see through that bait because to him that looks a lot more natural. So by Ty holding this sucker up to the light, he's seeing that this thing is going to almost mimic the natural surroundings because it's clear. Now as you hold it differently, as that sunlight hits it differently, as that light hits it differently, now you start to get that pink that runs along the top of this bait. Again, but the clear profile that's lower on the bottom of this thing is going to allow it to look more like its natural environment, whether it's in clear water or stained water. That's kind of the idea behind the clear pink on this bait. And it's at 3/4 ounce. It's one of these baits. It's an all-purpose. It's a universal bait here. It's meant to be fished along the bottom though. So I can tell you this: when you do all your homework on the Megabass stuff, this style bait here with the way, and this is why it's cool here. Andy, I'm gonna try to get real close here to this camera. Let me know if you can see it. What I want to try to show, yeah, you can see it right here. You can see where that lead or where that weight is positioned in the head of this bait. You can see that, right, Andy? Okay, so I'm trying to point to it right here. But the way they design this thing is it's going to allow it to kind of sit like this on the bottom. exactly what a goby does, right? It's going to sit along the bottom. So maintaining bottom contact is just a small hop, maybe some bigger hops, maybe it's a drag along the bottom. The other thing too is the movement of this thing and the way that tail, that paddle tail kicks up, stands up. This also mimics a crawfish at times too, or a crayfish, whatever one you want to call it. And depending on how you're wanting to fish it, depending on where those fish are at the water column, this thing will do a lot for you. Now, stay right there, Andy. Don't go anywhere with this camera angle. Here's the big thing too, and that's why I like this bait that we're referring to. Can you see where the hook is? The hook is right here in the top of that dorsal fin. That thing is super weedless. And the way it works then, if I just split it open like that, boom, that shows you that hook, that super, super sharp hook that's in there. But as soon as those dorsal fins go back over, and let me know, Andy, I'm trying to watch the bait and not watching the camera so much if I'm going too fast. But yeah, look at that. Automatically, it's hidden. But yet that plastic on this dark sleeper is so super soft that hook is automatically shown. So the way they designed this bait is absolutely unheard of. It is crazy. But that allows this bait to go through a lot of that nasty vegetation out there. It allows it to go through a lot of those bigger rocks. And the other thing too is the way this bait's gonna sit, like we talked about. You know, the other thing is they thought about how the fins, the flexible fins, absolutely help this bait. When it sits on the bottom, it doesn't want to roll. It won't roll and sit one way or the other. It's going to sit natural and stand up, just like a goby would. That's what those fins help that do as well. Look at that. That thing's crazy. I mean, just there's so much innovation. There's so much thought that went into this bait. Even the eyes are reflective. The eyes have that great shine, that sheen to them. This thing is absolutely a fish catching crusher right now. And it's crazy that, again, this is one, if Kyle found out that we're talking about the dark sleeper on TRS Live, he's going to be mad, and it's not going to be on sale for long. So again, it's one of those things, fish it along the bottom, right? It's got that enticing paddle tail. It's more of a bottom bouncing bait where a lot of smallies, largies, all those kind of fish hang out. This thing will catch you just about anything that swims. I talked about the fact that the fins help to deflect snags and also keep it weedless, but also help it stand up on the bottom. I love that image that you just had up there right now. That paddle tail moves even at the slowest retrieves. Look, I mean, again, everybody, you all know I got the energy drink shakes here, but just a little bit of movement. Can you see that, Andy? Let's go back to this one. Look at this. Just a little bit of movement and that paddle tail is going crazy there. Like, this is like a coffee morning. Like, holy smokes, look at that thing. It's out of control. But the idea is that such soft plastic on that tail that even if it's the slightest drag, even if there's a little bit of current, that tail is going to move. And that's going to absolutely crush those fish. That thing is going to tell them that, hey, man, this thing needs to be eaten. But again, it's the dark sleeper. Like for me, I don't really have to sell this. Everybody knows how good the dark sleeper is, and everybody knows how hard it is to get your hands on these at time. Normal retail price is dark sleeper, 1 per pack, for $6.99. We got them on sale right now. This color right here in particular, pink and clear, for $4.99. But again, let's talk about some more of the benefits here. We hit on the fact where it's weighted. It's weighted at the bottom, and the fin offer action to target bottom structure, right? So rocks, gravel, maybe it's as Andy Cleveland would say, artificial and natural wood. You never know which kind of wood you're going to encounter when out on a body of water. You know, it's weeds, vegetation. That weedless hook right there is going to allow you to fish it in some of the most nastiest vegetation. You could pitch this thing, you could flip this thing, you could bomb this thing, you can make super long casts with it. There's so many different options to fish this. But the biggest thing that, you know, Mega Bass wants you to know is you want to try to maintain bottom contact if possible. So let's say you need to do this. Let's say you need to have it on a slow burn, like a crankbait. That's one of the advantages of this bait. You can fish it like a crankbait, but then every once in a while, kill it. Stop reeling, let that paddle tail do its work, and let this bait go back down to the bottom. If those fish are on a cold front situation, if they're slow and lethargic right now, maybe there's a heavy amount of forage out there and they don't really need to chase bait to eat it. You let this thing kill it, and you let this thing sit on the bottom just like this, and you let that little bit of current flow move that tail, they're going to eat it. They don't really have a choice. It's right here, it's right now. It's like that cake sitting on the kitchen table. I'm going to have a piece. You could tell me no a million times, I'm going to have a piece. That's what the dark sleeper absolutely does right there. So then we talked about dragging it along the bottom. You know, just a slow drag, pause, kill it. I think that kill it motion, I think letting this thing sit, kind of like we talked about with the Ned rig, is one of those tips that, you know, maybe people, again, are fishing this absolutely too fast. Now let's talk about your rod reel selection. What I would fish this on is something anywhere from 7'1" to 7'4". And this bait in particular, I think it's one of those things where maybe people fish it too light. Maybe they're fishing it on too light of a rod. You know, this size right here would be a good one that you could also throw on a bait caster combination. Anywhere from like a medium heavy to a heavy. You know, right around in that ballpark. Have something like that kind of set up. Again, you want to be able to drive that hook, even though this weedless cover here is still pretty easy. I would say most anglers that are going to throw this bait in particular, they're more on that medium heavy side with a little bit of faster tip, you know, a little bit, but they want that backbone to kick back, to kick in right away. So anywhere from 7'1" to 7'4", probably a good idea. Again, it's a small bait, something that you need to make long casts with, but you also need the ability to pick up line. Now, in order to pick up line, you need a good reel to go along with this. Reel, something fast. Something in that, you know, 7+, 8+, you know, somewhere down in there. The thing about it, when you go to a reel, remember this fact when you're purchasing a reel. It is easier to slow down your retrieve than it is to speed up that retrieve. So a lot of people like something in that faster range and just go slow. Make yourself go slow. It's hard for us to do that. I know I got yelled at on the Guided Life episode with Travis Manson that I was fishing way too fast, but it's easier to slow down those high-speed reels than it is to speed up a low-speed reel, if that makes sense. So something that's a little bit faster. I know the Daiwa is my favorite line of reels to go with. Something in that 8 speed range, you know, then to slow it down and let this bait do the work. But all of a sudden a fish hits it and it swims at you. Now you got to burn it to catch up to it and engage that rod and make a good hook set. Again, the line selection. With this style bait right here, it's a little heavier than that 3/4 ounce. It's a 3-inch profile bait. Let's say you're running braid to fluoro. Anywhere from you know, a 20-pound braid to like a 10 to 15 to 20-pound fluoro, depending on what the cover looks like underneath there. Or again, if you're running straight fluorocarbon, anywhere in that 15 to 20-pound range is going to be a good way to go. The nice thing about it is you don't want a whole lot of stretch either. When this fish, when you're just burning it, kind of like a crankbait, right? It's not a big time cranking hook set. A lot of times if you're just on a slow retrieve, dragging along the bottom, that fish is going to hit it and it's going to kind of swim up with it. So when you feel that bite, you got to jack into it a little bit. So it's just more of a sweeping hook set and to bury that hook. Again, this plastic is so soft along the top of it that it's not a big time, you know, thick cover. Pull them out of the mat, pull them like a truck out of the mud style hook set. This is more of this. Let that fish catch up, sweep into it, and then drive that hook home. And the nice thing about the design of this hook is a lot of your hook placement is always top of the mouth. Usually they're going to have it choked, and when you set that hook, it's going to be top of the mouth area, and you're going to have them pinned. The biggest thing at that point is use that reel, use that rod to your advantage. Keep that fish down in the water, especially if it's a bass. Don't let it jump as much, even though it's cool, right, to see bottle rockets. Keep that fish down, keep your rod tip low, and just slowly bring that fish in, grind that fish in, depending on the size of it. That dark sleeper is going to keep that fish pinned for you and do a very, very good job. Some of the tactics how to fish it: lift, hop, slow retrieve, drag it like a football jig. You can also, like we mentioned, fish it like a crankbait. Drop, boom, hit off some of that brush, deflect it, really make it look like it's struggling out there. The other thing too, that maybe, depending on what side of the world you live on, this could be a perfect bed fishing bait. See those fish sitting on that bed? If you like to target them that way, flip this sucker in there. They get absolutely crazy. It won't last long on the bed. So this is a great bed fishing bait as well, but it's a great all-around bait. It's one of those things that'll catch you pretty much every fish that swims. I had a Instagram post, I don't know, 2 years ago. I was starting to play with the dark sleeper when they first came out 2-3 years ago. I can't exactly remember, but a pike bit me off right next to the shoreline where I was fishing. I jumped in, I saved it. I saved this little sucker's life. Like, I know that this thing is going to catch me a lot more fish. It was early spring. I wanted my dark sleeper back. I could still see it, so I jumped in. I saved it. I got it. I still use it to this day. But, you know, this is one here where $6.99, normal retail price for one. $4.99 right now is the deal. It's like, don't buy one, buy 100. Add them to the cart. Now it is okay for you to check out on today's episode. But the thing I want to encourage you and remind you of, if you are a fixed TV subscriber, I mean, $4.99, that's one bait. That's a $5 credit right there. That's all you have to do. I'm getting bait for free now with my $5 credit. Fixed TV for subscribers, you have that monthly allowance, let's say, because you're a good person for being a fixed TV subscriber. Use that now. Add it to your cart if you still have it left. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait till September if you already used your $5 credit. So again, everybody, I hoped I saved you some money. I hope I was a little bit entertaining, and mostly I hope I educated you on some of the baits. But if you don't like my thoughts and feelings on this stuff, I want you to reach out to the staff here at The Real Shot. They are absolutely phenomenal. They are friendly, and they will help take care of you. So if you give them a call, 920-750-6140, they'd love to chat, or you can hit them up on social media. That's The Real Shot, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, where you can also watch TRS Live, or TRS Live, Facebook, Instagram, or of course, the Fixed TV platform. You can be like Dylan Williams and be chatting with me live on the air. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesday, everybody. Let's get through hump day together. And I will talk to you Friday morning around 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. See you later.